I threw out an idea on Twitter, and it seems to be getting some pretty good responses. So I think we're gonna go forward with it.
Okay.
Just need to figure out how to exactly organize it. But I was saying, what I was thinking is to start getting to fighting games a little bit earlier and talk about like trailers, news, what's going on community wise, because like
Whenever applicable, yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of times like this week, there's a ton of stuff. There's some Guilty Gear news dropping left and right. There's Street Fighter news dropping left and right, all kinds of stuff. And, it's like these are times when you kind of want to, reacquaint, go touch the game again, go talk
Yeah.
about what's going on, or at the very least cover the match footage. And every day, some new stuff's dropping. So it feels like it'd be like, yo, that's the kind of stuff that it would be good to cover
Yeah.
in the moment, as opposed to, let's say, the next time Street Fighter 5 comes back around, because if we're doing one game a week each time, then you want to also get in some like obscure things, indie things,
Yeah.
and
Pointing out that we're paying attention to what's happening in the world.
but the main stuff continues to get updated and go on, and sometimes there's also things like the Killer Instinct tournament that brought back KI, for a moment there into everyone's consciousness. So it would be cool to have an ability to address what's current while also deep diving into, or not even deep diving, but just diving into the variety that we usually dive into,
Mhm.
and it would be nice to not have to sacrifice one for the some relevance for the exposure.
That's fair.
So yeah, I've been thinking about it, and it means we're gonna I mean, if anything, it's like it'd mean like adding more hours to the recording of the that we do, and no shortage of what we do, but yeah, just like a little bit more to cover that stuff. And and I think it'd be nicely digestible too for like a clip on YouTube to
Yeah.
just be like, hey, this is what's up with fighting games right now, and here's like some cool new things going on.
Hmm.
I mean, as is right now, like did you catch up on the footage of everything going on?
I checked a lot of things. I saw the Strive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I went over the Street Fighter 5 releases. Oh man, I'm actually excited for Street Fighter again. I've been playing lately because my friends are getting into it,
Mhm.
and like there were some sales, so my friends like, oh, let me pick up Street Fighter. So on the side, I've been playing it, but
Mhm.
now the new content and new meta and V shift
Mhm.
and V shift to break,
Mhm.
it's gonna be it's fun times,
Yeah, I would describe myself as curious about
Mm.
it. I'm curious to see how this flows. It's a humongous change in the way the game plays for sure, and that has me wondering what it's going to mean for a lot of the cast and how it's going to shape up, and what characters are now going to become like stronger than others as a
Yeah.
result of like being able to V shift out of trouble and
Yeah,
turn.
evidently that mechanic is gonna take a huge importance when you're gonna play it. It's gonna be, you have to take it into account, and
Mhm.
it slows down everything.
Mhm.
You can't just do a normal and do the string without thinking anymore, and that counts for even crouching medium kick fireball.
Yeah, the question is
Everything.
The question is like, what is like, how do you stop its abuse? Right. The number one thing to know right off the bat is how do you stop this from being abused? Right. Perhaps there's going to be something to like, if they do the follow up attack and you block it, or if they do the follow up, if you do the follow up attack poorly, there's a way to deal to we've seen the V shift and then they counter and then the
Yeah.
V shift gets activated by that. So for those who haven't seen it, effectively, Street Fighter V is adding a mechanic where it's essentially like a backdash that has full invincibility. You can't grab it, and they get out of trouble, and then they can choose what they want to do. And there's a baked-in follow-up that you can choose to go with, or you can just backdash and to do whatever you want.
And if a projectile or a strike is active while you do the V shift, there's the slowdown,
Yeah,
but
so if
not
you-
on the throws. though.
Exactly. So if you choose to dodge something, if you actively are dodging something that's attacking you, like there'll be a slowdown effect, and your back that the V shift backdash will be even more invincible than it otherwise was. Right.
I think this is gonna be really interesting because at high level, people will be happy. They'll be like, okay, there is no more nonsense. There's no autopilot anymore. Every decision has to be taken into account. if the opponent has a bar of V gauge now, because they can V shift, and if it's successful, they gain like half of it back or something, which is crazy.
I mean, it's going to everyone's Bayonetta now.
Pretty much.
You know?
Get that bio magic in there.
Can't touch me. Everyone has Bayonetta Witch Time, and it's going to cost a bar to do it. And I want to know, is just like, yeah, so people are going to be spamming the shit out of that early. You got to find the bait for it early. You're going to have to find the situations where you deliberately try to make it happen and then have a punishment ready on deck.
Yeah.
You know? I'm sure it can't eat a super. You know what I mean? So like there could be some option selects where you go like, maybe it's like, yeah, jab, and then, oh, did you activate it? All right, well, I'll just buffer in the rest of the super, and now by the time you come out of this, you're just going to eat it. You
have to get the game to test that.
You do. You have to find out exactly what it's going to be, but I'm sure there will be moments where people will find a way to do an option select where they can attack you, and if you happen to start your V-shift, they'll cover it with some other counter.
Yeah, is everybody Akuma now, where you can like OS a parry behind your buttons, and if things happen, oh, you get a parry, or you get a V-shift. This is going to be interesting too,
Yeah, V-reversal is going to now be a lot more circumstantial. There'll be a lot more cases where you don't necessarily need it because that bar could be better used on a V-shift.
I guess it still has its uses, because
if you're blocking,
mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes you might not want to waste the whole bar on a V-shift and have the opponent just watch you burn your bar like that. At least a V-reversal, if you know what move is coming and mm-hmm. what to V-reversal, then you can do something.
But a lot of the times you're looking to get out of a situation. Like I don't know if you saw K-Brad's tweet clip where he was just like,
yeah, it came to me.
Yeah, exactly. So K-Brad is describing how he's like, I'm gonna hit a button, I'm gonna get crouching fierce, and then I'm gonna just build up gray life, and I'm gonna stay on you, and then I'm gonna do instant dive kick, and then I'm gonna dive kick, and then I'm gonna do another button, and you're just gonna build up all that gray life, and then you're just gonna get opened up, and you're gonna lose everything, and you need something to get the fuck off me. You know what I mean?
Get off me!
Get the fuck off
me! Get off me!
So the V shift is that, right? Now now if you were like trying to do a V reversal on that, and like if it's anticipated, you can bait a V reversal out, punish it. This at least gives another moment, another play. When you're being rushed down, you can V reversal, or you can wait for a gap
and do it in neutral.
Exactly, if they're minus.
And they have to slow down, slow your roll, respect that V shift.
And I assume, based on the way we saw it in the trailers, that it's instant startup, right?
It seemed like it was like frame one.
Because if it was not, what do we do? What are we doing?
Yeah.
What am I spending my bar on? Right. So it feels like it kind of needs to be instantaneous. So we'll find out more, but it changes the flow of the game drastically. And I would like to see how that shapes up. So I'm curious about Street Fighter V now as well.
I hope that it won't be another thing where some characters will have better V shifts than others.
They definitely will, because the attack is unique for everyone.
So
you saw how Geef has the big kick. He's got the boot. Everyone has.
We still don't know if it's like gray life or real damage or.
Yeah, they hid the HUD.
Yeah.
So, it's gonna be. But either way, the attacks are unique. It's not a universal type. So they might share frame data. They might be like the same speed of attack, but just unique in their range and where the hitbox goes and how.
Zangief was a boot, but Rashid flipped forward. Yeah, you're right.
So then you saw Rose.
Oh yes, that seems pretty interesting, and she looks good.
She has more stuff than she used to. They gave her satellite back, but they toned it down, but it's still satellite, right? And her anti-air, like I said, it feels like it's less risky now. Like, I'm sure the cooldown on whiff is still going to be punishable because it's a DP, but it's not as bad as it was because, again, she stays grounded in a way, right? So you're at the bare minimum, like, she's not moving towards you. So like,
oh, that's too bad. She won't get her mix-ups with the Soul Satellite anymore. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's intentional.
Yeah, for sure. They didn't want that mix-up happening.
That
Crush
is
counter, V-skill.
absolutely
Stun
intentional.
throw!
Yeah, so she used to be able to bring out the 2 swirling orbs that would hit you once, and then she would whiff an uppercut and then drop back down, and it would be like, which way?
Yeah, in Street Fighter 4.
Now
That's
she
good.
doesn't do that anymore because and they got rid of it. Yeah, that's totally it. That's totally it. Like it's because it's a buff in some ways. Like in the practical use of the move, it is a buff in that, like, again, she's not overextending herself.
She stays there.
She stays safely, and it's the scarf, and she's back where she needs to be. But in the mix-up sense, in the unintentional use of the move, they totally did get rid of it. That's totally true. That's a good thing you pointed out there. Yeah.
So what did they give her? Like that V skill with the card?
Right? So she plays Yu-Gi-Oh. She pulls out a buff card or a debuff
All
card.
the cards.
And then she can hit you with it, and then like you get debuffed or debuffed, and that seems to be the deal. And then you can charge it or throw it.
Yeah, and there was one that was giving her V-trigger meter as well. And the 2 others, when they hit the opponent, they would give a different colored debuff. But I didn't know what was the debuff exactly.
Yeah, they didn't elaborate a ton on them.
No.
But
there was like a purple one and a green one.
Yeah. So it might just be a bit of a Skullgirl situation, although I doubt they're going to do
frame data.
Yeah.
No.
Like input lag. The intentional input lag on the on your debuff. That'd be interesting, but no, they're not going to fucking get that wild with it. I assume it to be the basics, right? Street Fighter keeps it simple, so assume it's going to be offense, defense, or meter, right? Those are the 3 ways to play it. The teleport, I guess, is replacing the drop mix, right?
Yeah, I could. Yeah,
that's
it's a bit tamer.
Definitely. So,
but from what we've seen, we don't know like what is the full tech on it, but yeah.
So no, what you just said is exactly like it seems to be intentional. It's like she can teleport, she can call them out. We can still do the mix, but it's a tamer mix as opposed to the drop 50-50, which is like it's a thing that made her really strong, but it was not the intended usage of her special at all,
If the game comes out and they gave her a teleport that goes behind the opponent, like in the air, she can already go behind, but I don't know if she can space the fireball and teleport.
She's
behind.
not Dante.
If she could do something like that, then it's gonna be crazy for the mix-ups. Yeah. And they gave her the air fireball too.
Air fireball, 2 trajectories to it. Looks pretty unsafe, but still, like,
that's an angle.
She has an angle, exactly, right? So, she can zone effectively. She's got the little explosion bomb she can set. She's got a kit.
Yeah, true.
She's got a kit. And you can put that explosion out while you have the satellite, while you teleport. Dan, with his second V skill, the cancel taunts.
Looks like a serious character.
Dan is real, but you have to be real.
Yeah.
If you're real, then Dan is real. If you're fake, then Dan's fake. It's as simple as that. Like, if you are using his V skill 2, which allows him to taunt and then cancel that taunt into the next thing, which is basically a reference to his super taunt cancel in Street Fighter 4.
Yeah.
Right? Because in Street Fighter 4, you could do a basic button, like you could do like normals, right? And then from that, you could cancel into super taunt, and then cancel super taunt into ultra.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is just like a seamless cancel, So they kind of brought that back where he can taunt in between and then go from those taunts into other buttons, but only on hit.
If you do it on block, you get blown up after.
And that's what Dan should be, The damage on those combos was not particularly high.
Yeah, it was very small. I don't know if it's going to be tweaked when the game comes out, or if there's going to be a universal balance change again with the damage.
Off of the cancel combos, he got some particularly like
tame
damage.
Even with his V trigger, how Gadoken, it was pretty little damage on that, I think.
But he gets it one bar activations on it.
The first,
he's the first.
Of course, it has to be.
I'm glad they finally did it, right? But he can't abuse it in the way I expected. Because I thought anybody who has like a not a transformation, but anyone who has free movement after the cancel can just beast the game by constantly using one V bar to check what's happening, right? because you know, the VV skill activation has been something where you can just like pause the game and see what are you doing? Were you jumping? Were you pressing a button? And then react right afterwards. But with this, he's committed to doing that big fireball, so he doesn't get to change his actions after confirming what you're about to do, you know? And then we got 11. So 11 is the new random select.
11.
Mokujin, right? Which is pretty fun. That's cool. Good to do.
So now I have to practice every character so I can be an 11 main.
There you go. Not just every character, every V
variation,
skill,
every V skill,
every V trigger.
V trigger.
Right? So, because it randomizes both. So, yeah, you want...
It's so good.
You know.
This is the ultimate Shang Tsung.
Yes. You have no control over your sub-selections, which is huge. You know.
It can get rougher.
Okay, it doesn't change per round, so it's not fully Mokujin. But the point is what I mean by Mokujin in the sense of it's a special version of random select as opposed to just raw random select, right? So that's a fun little thing to throw in there. Nod to 12 from Street Fighter 3. And
Street Fighter 5 is before Street Fighter 3, right?
Yes.
So
canonically
11 and then 12. That means 12 is better than 11, technically.
Yes. With Strive, Nagoriyuki was really interesting because his style is nutty, and I'm paying close attention because I want to find out if this is who I'm gonna play. And I still need to know. I need more answers. But right now, he seems like just fucking all or nothing. He seems like an all or nothing character, and you can't air dash with him.
Oh,
he does not have an air dash.
Okay,
he has a Slayer teleport, and the Slayer teleport builds up his blood rage meter.
That was a weird meter. I wanted to know how it worked because like it fills up. It's like, oh.
So I have a fairly decent understanding of it at this point, right?
There was one part that I was like, whoa, what's happening there? Because at some point I think he got the debuff and Soul killed him at the end. Yes. He was in recovery.
Exactly.
Can you prevent that? Is it like, what's happening with that?
Okay, so Nagoriyuki is big beef, big attacks, no air dash, and he's not that mobile, and he takes big swings, right? When you do his special moves, of which he seems to have he has like a Strider slash.
Yeah.
He's got an up down slash. He's got a like kind of something that looks like a either like a slash that goes into the aerial kind of combo with the big disc swing we've seen at the end.
Okay.
And a couple other things, but they all build up this blood meter, right? This blood rage meter. And it seems like it's divided into 3 sections.
Yeah.
And when you do one of his special moves, it will
pulls the blood out, right?
Exactly. So you see the blood. Exactly. You see the blood come from the character that you're hitting, and it fills that up by 1 pip, and then like it'll slowly fill up to the next pip. If you do the teleport, it also fills it up.
Okay.
Right. So the dash teleporting, and like you can cancel from one special into another, like Sin, and it also fills the blood bar up. So you have a little bit of that like Sin style, like, okay, there's a limit to how many of these things you can do in a row. And when it fills up completely, he goes into like a blood drunk frenzy kind of thing, pops the mask off and explodes. And then like you see the red eyes and the fangs and everything. And now he's in crazy beef mode, right? So he's whatever, blood drunk. I don't know whatever they're going to call it. Everything he does is ridiculous. His Strider slash is now full screen and hits like way further away.
Okay.
On chip, it does like 7-8%, right? Everything on hit is horrifying. He's just he becomes a terrifying character.
Man, I want to see it again, actually.
But as he's doing this to you, his life bar is dropping this quickly.
His life bar
is evaporating, right? So, okay, we didn't put the time aside to do the full breakdown, but we ended up doing it anyway because he loses almost 70% of his life in seconds, right? So you basically have him going into Pandora mode almost, where it's like, you better kill now, or you're done.
But that's so crazy.
It is. And you see, as the life is dropping, you see the blood gauge dropping. And once the blood gauge hits 0, he goes, everything stops. Debuff. And he pulls the mask back on, right? And then you continue the fight. So in the match, you see him pop it right when the character's on the wall, which is a safe place to pop it, right? The life starts dropping. And if you think about it, when you were watching, like, I think it was Goichi who was playing him in the reveal, right? He was playing him so much more tame. He was doing it really, really tame, and that's why we now know the reason why he was keeping it tame is because he was trying to keep that bar from dropping, from going over while playing. So now when you see someone going all out with it, so anyway, no, the mask goes on mid combo. The mask comes off at the end when the character is splattered on the wall, right? So it goes off, and then you see it all start dropping, and then what he does in the match is he's mid combo, and then he does a drift into like after he hits Soul, he then does an RC drift forward
to slow down Soul,
slows down time, slows in hit stun, cancel, pull the mask on, resume the combo. So as long as you have as long as you're mid combo and their hit stun continues, you can pick him back up and do what you want. But you have to plan what you're going to be doing, where you're going to be, and how you're going to be ending whatever your actions are when the blood drunk meter drains out, right? When the blood rage empties.
Wow.
So it's like a dragon install. When he goes at the end, you have to know what you're going to be doing. Except it's super stylish.
That's so scary to me.
It's crazy.
To me, that is, I don't even, I can't comprehend it.
So now, I'm like, the game plan with this character is honestly, like, in a game like this where damage is so high, it is honestly probably incredibly slow and then explosive once you get it, once you confirm, right? And you have to choose when you want to just go all in. So if you get that like really good kick, because he's got an amazing 5K, it's like a nice little like from a distance, right?
Yes.
And just so you see more than a couple times where he lands like 5K, 2H, / dash forward, switch sides, slash again. Like, he's got tools.
He has to go in before the end of the debuff too, to try to Roman cancel you and not get punished, basically.
Well, because
at the end of one of the rounds, that's what happened. He just debuffed away, and his soul just.
But he dashed in, and the dash is what blew him over the edge.
Oh my god,
the dash pushed his blood over the edge, and then he went and then Saul killed him. Exactly, right. So he could have just been patient there, What I think you're going to end up doing is, because that 5K like actually led to half-life off of Soul, right? So the thought is you land a combo, and he didn't have to go overboard for that, right? Like, he was able to stop it on the limit. So it seems like you can confirm, do some crazy ass combo, and then the second time you confirm, you can be like, you're either gonna die or you're gonna be left with so little life that I'm gonna just chip you out anyway, and it's worth it for me to pop it right now. So you have, after my second touch, you're going to have seconds, blood in the water, right? Shark mode. Just, like,
I'm coming.
You're not getting out of this, It would be really interesting, too, to see if when he does actually drain to 0, to see whether he dies or sits on the magic pixel.
Oh, I don't think he shouldn't die.
I don't think that he should die.
Yeah.
Self-inflicted things shouldn't kill you. No, but I hope he sits on the magic pixel, but we don't know, so Nago looks bonkers, and like, I'm like, why? Like, I was already like, I'm probably going to play this guy just because how fucking cool he looks. And then they got to throw a wrench into it, and now I'm like, well, I'm still going to play you.
You have to deal with it now.
And now I just have to deal with it because you're still too cool looking. I'm not gonna. I said it before. High or low, it doesn't matter.
If it's cool,
I'm
it's
in,
good.
right?
Yeah.
And Bikin's not in it, and that's fine. Like it's it's not the first time. When Bikin wasn't an exert, I was playing Sin. It was totally fine. So yeah, we're gonna roll in. We're gonna see how it goes, and I'm committed to at the very least like trying him out and learning how that system goes. Because like, fuck, man, it's so all or nothing, and I'm just like I don't know if I play Blanca, so like I'm used to coin flips.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's a slow calculated coin flip. Well, Blanca can be slow and calculated until you want him to go nutty too. So I guess the analogy works in more than
Same
a couple
kind of
ways.
character in a way.
Left, right, left, right.
Okay, well, Blanca has to win. Throw them dice.
Yeah, fucking Mesoteru bomber. Yeah, so that is fun. We'll find out, and then of course Kai Dragon install. Low life only. Max took a look at it and he was like, "Oh man, the Dragon install doesn't do much. Whatever. It's not as like explosive as Souls." And it's like, yeah, that's true. But let's look at what it's doing in gameplay. And in gameplay, when Kai activates his Dragon install, he loses the ability to electrocute you.
Okay.
So the electrocution status goes away. But instead, everything he does hits a little bit more. It does like a third hit on the dire eclat. He does a third hit on his DP. He does a third stun edge. Like everything gets a little bit extra.
Okay.
And those extra hits crank your risk gauge like a motherfucker. So a basic bitch string on block,
you'll have to think
50% cranked.
Yeah. Okay.
You get 50% risk after blocking a basic combo from Kai when he's in Dragon install.
Wow.
That is not insignificant. That's very, very, very significant.
Yeah, because if your risk gets too high, the next hit is a free counter hit.
Block 2 combos and you're getting blown up.
Just 2 strings and he's there, and you're still in the corner getting pressured. Oh man,
you have to kill him
overhead
when he activates the Dragon install. You have to kill him. You can't let him stay alive because it's not in your favor to play on defense against it, and that's a worthy trade-off for electricity.
Oh yeah.
So.
The pressure of this game is going to be crazy.
Kai gets a lot stronger with that. Dust on counter hit is not the full launcher anymore.
Okay.
It is like Dust also doesn't wall bounce. Dust you can charge it. So like raw Dust is gonna just like kind of kick the character back a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Fully charged Dust leads to the launcher.
I see.
Giovanna in the trailer footage. In the match footage we saw, like, yeah, the person playing them didn't really get to do much, so you didn't get to see a lot of her kit. And then someone else, the person who got an early copy of the game, was able to do some combos, and so you saw her stuff. Her combos look they look interesting. Like she's got some basic kick girl stuff. She's doing some Cammy-ish things. I think
wall bounce dog flip thing.
I think everybody was expecting the dog to like detach from her, and do some tricks, and that doesn't seem to be the case.
Stays real close.
It's a scarf,
yeah,
right, and it kind of occasionally becomes energy, but like we don't see her dog being like Poppy or Carl Clover or anything like that, which it's not going to be Zato 1 again. I wasn't expecting that, but I did want to see more unique dog play than just like it being on her shoulder. So I do feel that they kind of like they're not doing like justice to how cool the design is of the two of them together, because you put 2 characters in one, you want to use that, so we'll see.
It's okay. They can release another character like detached Giovanna and have the dog going around instead of her going.
Who fucking knows? Axl is going to be the noob killer. In fact, he's going to be the killer until we know how to handle One World. So his time stop is called One World. We don't know what. I don't know. How do you stop that? He takes half tension bar, and then he can stop time.
How does it work? Is it
one
like
vision,
an install?
one vision. Excuse me.
Is it like an install, and he triggers it after?
Exactly. So you commit to the install of it, right? You do the input. He gets one, and then you do the next input, and then it causes it to time stop.
And does it hit you like always? Is it on block? On
it
hit?
Is
everywhere, anytime.
it seems to be, as long as it seems like as long as you're not getting hit, he can do it. Is what it feels like, because you saw him camp combo into it, and you saw him do it raw, and you saw him do it like, you know, like in a couple different circumstances. So you can react and just do it, you know. You can't do it defensively, but like as long as you're a neutral or on defense, it's a threat. So who knows how the fuck to deal with that?
Like
because
if I'm blocking and he just pops it, then he can.
I win neutral.
Yeah,
I win neutral. Am I on my last life? My last hit? I have half bar.
Yeah.
I win neutral. You just nothing you can do right now. How do you fight? Like you have, it's again, Phoenix Wright turnabout mode, full bar. Do something.
Yeah.
Anything. Full screen hitbox confirm done. Like, what game is there left? You know.
Wow. Okay.
So
I hope it's balanced.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Easy. So, you know, that's kind of what we got from the footage, though.
Millia rage.
They sped her up. It looks
crazy.
She's back to being a mixed monster, and any of the like, oh yeah, this game is like Street Fighter. It's like
so
Grand Blue.
Here you go.
Nah, bro.
Here you go.
Nah, bro.
Enjoy.
It's back to being fucking terrifying. So,
she puts the ground projectile on her knockdown, and then she hops. It's baked in. She hops, and then she can dash. She can attack. Oh my god!
Like this, comes out backwards, drop, or like this, come back, cross through.
0.
Or like this, come back, not cross through.
Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Wild, right? Just you're like holding that is part of what Millia does to you, and this is what it continues. That the tradition is there. So limited time demo Shang Tsunging is not fun for me.
No,
you know, it's not, because like I want to learn about what everybody does a little bit, but if I know in my heart of hearts that I'm not interested in playing as this character, then I feel like I'm wasting my time going into the lab with them when I have hours before this is up. You know what I mean? So like I want to spend all my time with the characters I like, and that's probably what I'm going to end up doing on Strive when the demo comes around. I'm just gonna lock into who I like and stick with them, because like, yeah, I'm like, what am I fucking around for? I'm not gonna end up playing Zato 1. Like, it's just,
that's true.
He's not for me, and that's okay, you know.
Yeah. So aside from Nagoriyuki, what is the second character that you might eye? I know you've been playing Kai. Yeah.
Right now it's Kai and Nago. Giovanna's super cool move list wise. She's not. So her style is awesome, and I like her presentation. I don't like her moveset enough to necessarily want to commit to picking her.
It was not appealing enough.
It's Cammy-ish. It's a Cammy-ish, you know, thing, and that's fine. But I just don't know that I'm gonna like wanna, you know, stick with that all in, unless she has more shit we haven't seen yet. You know, maybe there's some fucking dog mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she turns
I agree
green.
With you. She's kind of like Cammy in the sense like she's straightforward and a bit borderline dry. But like if you're playing to win, then yeah, it's really fun. But it is a bit dry in a way, and it felt dry to see Giovanna with the dive kicks going forward.
That's nothing too wild. Yeah. Whereas I can't believe what I'm seeing with Nago. Like, I can't actually believe they made that a thing that he does.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, show me how it works.
And they think that he can murder you fast enough while his bar is dropping, you know, to win the round. So no such thing as a perfect with Nagoriyuki. There's a timing after you do. Maybe this is intentional, but after you do the move that's going to send you over, it doesn't send you over right away. It slowly builds. So you do like the teleport, and then you see the build up.
Yeah. It's not like an instant meter gain.
So what I think that gives you time to do is, let's say you teleport and you're about to go over, but you land the grab first. You've saved yourself from going over, and now you've dropped it down a meter.
Okay, yeah.
So it gives you an opportunity. Maybe in the window, you can do what you need to do to drain the bar down. You know, it gives you a little bit of safety. But like if you don't, fucking do it.
When it fills up, if you're in the middle of a string, you'll finish the string and then unbuff after?
No, he activates and deactivates as soon as
It fills up, so it will interrupt you.
Yes.
Oh.
Whatever you're doing, when it fills up, he goes, ah.
Okay.
And when it drains, he goes,
Okay.
no matter what's happening. Right. Yeah, that was a full-on like covering of the stuff. And, you know, I mean, there's a lot going on. What can you say, right?
It was a big week.
Big week for fighting games.
You know?